specifically. It's going to give you ideas of how to structure your papers and your writing so it makes it easier when you're stuck on what to write or something like that. So it's called Power, and we can skip that. But basically, I'm gonna print off a thing that we can see as we power really big, and each letter stands for something different. It's power plus P. Our P stands for planning, so that's what we're gonna practice today, and I'm gonna explain a fun thing that we're gonna do with it. But then eventually, as you work through your paper, then we'll work on organizing our writing, so making organizers and figuring out how to really understand each part of our paper. And then writing, the E is for edit, the R is for revise, and the plus P is for publish. So how many of you have written before for your 8th grade class, and you feel like you just wrote your essay and you turned it in, you didn't care, and you're never going to see it again, so it didn't even matter? Raise your hand, because I felt that way. You're never going to see it again, it didn't really matter, you feel like you had no reason to do it. So this publish part is really important to me because I want to feel like you're writing for a reason. So I have this idea, and what we're going to do for our writing in here, we're going to start with Planet today and use this planning sheet. I have them for you. But we're going to all have this animal. This is my idea. We're all going to have a different animal, like an exotic animal. The crazier the better, something I've never heard of. And we're going to learn about them and research them, and we're going to organize our thoughts and make a big thing. I mean, you're going to be an expert on this animal. So, for example, it could be this trapdoor spider. So, have you ever heard of a trapdoor spider before? You have, Ian? Okay. Well, I hadn't, and these things are crazy. So, I want you to watch what they do. They hide and they camouflage themselves, and when something comes up for it to eat, I don't know where it is. So here's this bug. They come out of nowhere. They hide. They don't make, another sound. So they don't make a web. They actually make these kind of like roofs or hoods over the ground, and they pop out of it to get their prey. And so they're really good. They're called trapdoor spiders because they make this trapdoor in the ground to come out and get their prey. So this is one example. I can probably scooch forward a little bit.
That's like just waiting and waiting for someone to walk by. And that soil, obviously, wherever they are, has to be super compact to not crumble and have like, it's like a roof.
Wet.
Right.
Wet.
So
Wait for the last one.
Oh, I am. I'm just seeing. I feel like there was a way cooler video that I had. So I wonder if. Because this one's kind of boring. This one. So they hide in like plain sight in the ground, and then when something comes, they open their trap door and they come out and like attack it. So I honestly don't know where the videos I was thinking of, but they're insane. So there's something that I've never heard of. A different animal. Oh, see here, he's poking at his trap door, and there's the spider. Do you see it? You can even tell there's a door there. When you open it, there's this giant spider in there. He's hiding out.
Yeah, he's not no fool.
Yeah, he is no
joke.
Another thing, who knows about wildebeests? Or like those, they kind of look like cantaloupe, kind of. I had them on my laptop, but I didn't have them bookmarked on this.
I saw wildebeest when I was in like they're like big.
So here's gazelle. So this whole video is about how the crocodiles hunt these gazelle and how they herd them into one place. We won't have to watch it actually attack it because that can be really sad, but it shows how these animals like survive and how they do these different things. So my plan, my idea for this writing unit that we're going to do is you're each going to pick a different animal. So you can pick this spider or something crazy. You can go on Google and find the craziest animal that no one's ever heard of, and we're going to become experts on this animal. And we're going to learn about them, and we're going to make these like display/book things, and we can put them up in the library, and people can come see all the work you did about this animal. So when you publish it, I know. So this published part of it is like giving you a meaning to want to do it. So teachers and staff and Mr. Hurst can come down and see how you're this expert on this new animal. We can put up the work you did in your display in the library, and you guys can talk about it. You don't have to talk about it like a speech. I just mean they'll be out there for people to see. So it gives you a reason to want to do it, and you'll be this new expert on this animal nobody knows about. So, for example, the first part of finding this don't find one you totally love, or if it's not an exotic animal and you're like, I've always wanted to know more about giraffes. I know they're not like everyone knows about them, but I want to really know about them.
Oh, they're on the endangered species list.
Yeah, so
Which
you
is,
yes, Kyle.
Can I go home and somehow find my second grade poster of lions?
Well, we want to go more in depth in second grade.
Lions are not that exotic either.
Right.
I mean, they're
They're
really
still
cool.
animals.
So we could
Yeah,
pick an animal that you can become an expert on that no one knows about. So I'm going to give you these things under these plan sheets. They look like this, and they help us write and get us started on a paper. And so I feel like a lot of times a teacher just tells you, you know what, you're doing an argument paper on this, go ahead and get started.
Which you just did.
Where do you start? Like, how do I know what to do? You said do a counter and do all this stuff, but that's just a lot of words that I don't really get because it's just a lot of hoopla. So last night I went and found my own animal that I'm going to do with you guys as we do it together. So while you write about an animal, I'm also going to be doing the same steps with you. So to start with my plan, I'm just going to show you what I do to walk through it. My animal that I picked last night is called the pika, and I should have showed you actually, but it's this little animal that kind of looks like a hamster and a mouse, and it's like a really wild animal out somewhere. I don't know where it's from, but I have to research it to find out. So my topic, so I'm going to write the pika.
Is that like Pikachu? Is that what I got? Pikachu?
That's what it reminded me of, but it doesn't totally look like it, but that might be where it's from. So that's something I might want to know, too, when I write about something I want to know. And it's a connection. So why am I writing this? So why would I be writing about the pika? What can you think? What do you think I would want to write about? What was I just thinking? I personally want to find out more information about it. I want to know what it does, and I want to share it with other people. So I'm going to say to find out info about the pika. Sorry, I'm writing really fast. To share with others. So this next part says, what do I know about this topic? So all I know is it kind of looks like a little mouse. So that's all I found last night. I didn't find a lot because I wanted to be on the same page with you guys today. So all I found was a picture of it. It looks like a mouse, maybe a hamster, or like Mrs. Bishop just said, maybe like actual Pikachu from Pokemon. I know that it's small, so I could write that down. And from the picture I saw, it's an outdoor animal. It kind of likes grass, so I'm just going to say it's a land animal. It's not in the water, but you could pick a really cool like shark type animal too. So it's a land animal, and I know it's wild. That's all I really know about it right now. I haven't learned a lot about it, so that's just what I'm going to put down for what I know. Where do you think I can get information about this animal? What do you think? Give me some ideas. Alex, where do you think I can find information about this pika?
Online.
Online, good. Where else do you think I can get it?
Books.
Books?
Well, thanks, Alex.
Alex, raise your
Thanks,
hand.
Alex.
No, Alex is volunteering.
No, he's
I don't-
helping.
Not raise his hand.
Where else?
Declan
Anything
Anderson.
right
Be quiet, Connor.
Researching, yep, so we could research it in online or books. I'm just going to say, like, Google, too. Ava?
You can go to like a place on where they're at and like get information.
Good. So we could honestly, we could go to an expert on pikas, or, like, go to a place where they are. So we could, like, actually go. So say they were, like, in Milford, Michigan. That's where they were from. We could go to the place that they are and learn. Go to the place they are. I'm going to say, too, there's probably someone out there with the job that they are an expert on pikas. And I might try to find them and call them and ask them some questions. So I'm going to say call an expert, maybe? Can you think of anything else? Those are some good ones. Ian?
Watch Animal Planet.
Watch, it's really good.
I was gonna say,
Videos are an
That Planet
awesome.
Earth thing, you know, maybe they had something on that.
I think
Yeah.
I think they were on Animal Planet or something like that. Discovery or something.
You know what's really cool is
I think
I
there's
just,
like a mouse on there or something.
yeah, so it might actually be on there. Just like I showed you that video of that trapdoor spider, I just learned a ton about it just by watching that one video. so I can learn about it from videos as well. And we're going to talk about later, when you have your own animal, how you can get information and write things down from videos as well. Those are all really good. The last part I'm going to look at, it says, how is this information organized? So there's this one option here that shows kind of like a category type graph. They have a bunch of different bubbles, or compare contrast, or this one's like a position. So the position one we just kind of did for argument papers. I think this, someone else thinks this. I don't really think I'm going to use that one for the Pika because I don't think that's the best for my paper. So I'm going to decide maybe I want to do Pika versus mouse, or for like a compare and contrast, or I could find out a categories about where they live, what they eat, what they do. And I think for me, that kind of sounds more like what I want to learn about with it. So I'm going to pick this categories structure so I can brainstorm things in all these different bubbles about what they do and form those into a paper. So just like that, I already have this plan planned out of what I want to look up for this animal, what I want to learn about it, and that's just kind of like where I'm starting. It's going to get me interested in it. So these plan sheets are supposed to help you kind of organize your thoughts all in one spot and makes it more attainable. So I have them for you, and so my goal today and the next like 10 to 15 minutes, I'm going to let you go on a Chromebook and find your animal and just try to fill out as much as you can, and then the last half of class we'll finish any homework or anything you have left to work on for today. So that'll be your writing today, is filling out this plan sheet. So go ahead and get a Chromebook, and I'm going to give you a few ideas of ways you can find exotic animals. Projects. So I know in class in English we have a lot of like specific, like we have to write about this argument, you only get this topic, and it feels very forced. So I want this to be your choice. You get to pick the animal, and we're going to become experts on it. That's the goal. And each time we work on a new strategy for power, we're going to add more and more to this paper, and it's not going to seem like a lot of work because we're going to chunk it each time. And before you know it, you're going to have all this information on this animal, and it's not going to seem like it was that big of a deal. And you'll be able to use this power strategy in high school. It'll be really, really helpful for you when you write in high school.
I'm sure it's for me.
Now it works.
Did it work?
Oh, fine.
Bishop's
yes.
really good.
Let's make sure that this is still like around. It looks like it's like ancient.
No, it's still around. They hang around volcanoes, underwater and stuff. They eat the bubbles that come out from volcanoes.
Blobfishes do?
Yeah, then they move like slower than
All right, well write this down.
I'm gonna write that down. I didn't know that. I
Look,
didn't know
what
that.
do you know now? That
Right,
you're just
you just-
brainstorming.
your fellow classmate just informed you.
Yeah.
I don't know that.